Hello all you lovely people and welcome to another video of mine. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It's just dropped in. So I'm not going to spoil a lot of the game because it's just come out. This is not a review. I just want to give you some of my personal views about this game when I was playing this on the PC. Now, the reason why I chose to play this on the PC is because I saw a lot of negative reviews on the PC. Now, if you head over to the Steam page, which I'm just going to do right now, there are a lot of mixed reviews and a lot of them are in fact negative. But before we get to that, let me just tell you a little bit about the settings that I was playing this on and the PC that I was playing this on. Now, as you can see on the screen, most of the settings have been kept at, say, about the mid to the high. Generally, I like turning the shadow or the particle effects down to either medium or low. And that's what I have done here in this case as well. But all the other elements like the mesh or the texture settings, they've all been kept to high. Of course, not ultra, because my PC will not be able to take that. But as you can see, it's mid to high settings, you could say. And I'm playing, of course, on 1440p, not on a full 4K. Now, the system requirements of this game are also pretty high. Now, this game requires at least 8 GB of video RAM. That is insanely high, and that's the minimum requirements, by the way. So you require 8 GB VRAM. That's like a GTX 1070 or an RX 580. And the recommended requirements would be an RTX 2070 or maybe an RX 6700 XT. Now, fortunately for me, I was playing this on my Asus ROG Strix G15 Advantage Edition from 2021. That means I had the Ryzen 7 processor, which is like a 5800, and I also had the RX6800M, which is a 12 GB graphics card. So I was able to pull off, you could say, 1440p mid to high settings. Now, a lot of the complaints surrounding this game is the atrociously bad PC performance. And I, at this point, have not seen any of the Digital Foundry videos, and they do, by the way, great tech reviews. I'm not a techie person. I'm more like a gamer who likes the experience. I don't like getting into a lot of technical aspects of the game, like SSAO or what type of anti-aliasing is being used, about the ambient occlusion and all that stuff. For me, it's more visual and what I'm experiencing in the moment. So that's exactly what I'm going to share about while I was playing this game in the mid to high settings on my Asus ROG Strix G15 Advantage Edition. Now, first of all, let me tell you that the visual fidelity of the game right off the bat is incredible. I mean, if you do have the hardware to support mid to high and 1440p or 4K, man, go for it. Now, the other aspect that I do want to talk about is the fact that I'm recording straight off my computer. So I do not record off of a third-party device. This is a direct screen recording, and it's recorded in 1440p. Now, the reason why I thought I should mention this and why it's important is because when you are recording in 1440p or even 1080p, and if you're doing a screen recording, that tends to affect your FPS. So you lose, say, about 5 to 10 FPS in the process. It depends on the game. Some games you might even end up losing like 12 to 15 FPS. Unfortunately, it was the latter with this game. So while I was screen recording and playing this game, I lost a lot of FPS, at least 12 FPS, I would say. And how do I know that? When I was recording this game, I was getting about 24 FPS, 30 FPS. But when I stopped recording and when I played afterwards, I was able to hit the 40 to 45 FPS on this game. And I'll tell you, what settings I was able to get that on, because I started this game with mid to high settings. And I also started this game on, you could say, the quality mode. So as far as FSR goes, the FSR is at the quality mode right now. I have not tuned into the performance, balanced, or the ultra performance. And FSR is incredibly important as far as this game goes, because without FSR, I don't think you'll really be able to enjoy this one here. So what I want to say is, The visuals of this game are stunning. I mean, this opening cinematic, and even when it transitions from this cinematic to gameplay, you will get access, to controlling your character. It is stunning. Visually, this game offers so much, and I'm so excited to play a lot more of this game because even the first game when it came out, visually it was gorgeous. I mean, you did have an opportunity to travel to different planets, go over to different areas, and enjoy, you could say, the alien landscapes that were on offer in the previous game. Now, with this game, from what I've seen so far, because I've not jumped into it, I've only had very little time with this game. And I also did not want to give away too much because it would spoil your overall experience. So I'm just going to talk about it, say about for 10 minutes, not more. And as you can see, now we have already moved into the gameplay aspect of this game. Now, while the gameplay is going on, if you notice on the top left-hand corner, although you could say the FPS counter is not very visible, but I'm getting, say, about 30 to 32 FPS. In some places, it's dropping below 32 FPS, and it's heading over to, let's say, 31 now, and 29, 27, and you would get areas where you would even get like 24 FPS, but everything looks sharp because right now, FSR, but quality mode. And this is incredible. I mean, 26 FPS now. Everything looks fantastic. Look at that fog, the smoke effect, the shadows, the lighting, everything is superb. And in terms of the visual fidelity, the consoles will not be able to beat a PC. And of course, you would not even get so many options in terms of the settings. Even the lighting is absolutely stunning. I mean, just take a look at that. The backgrounds, it looks like a scene right out of a Star Wars movie. At this point, it doesn't even feel like a game. I mean, that's how good the game looks visually, but you're taking a hit in terms of the FPS. And in terms of the FPS, you can see right on top 27, 26, 24 in some cases, 30, which is not bad because if you take a look at what's happening on the screen, there's a lot happening on the screen, a lot happening in the background, a lot of activity happening in the background. And if you take a look at this particular camera angle, it kind of reminds me of the game Quarry. The Quarry, I don't know if you remember this, but the character himself or herself is kind of blurred, and then the background is more clear. And that's exactly how you start this game off with. I mean, this kind of a camera angle. Of course, you later on switch over to the traditional third-person action-adventure kind of a camera angle while you're in the heat of the action. So the camera angle will change. But for this opening sequence, the camera angle is different. And this is very much like the Quarry. It's fresh off my mind because, I've played that game recently. And there's a similarity in terms of the camera angle. Now, as you can see right on top, 30 FPS. So again, I'll just tell you that a lot of people have complained about this game. And I want to read a few of those complaints. Here, for instance, one of the gamers has stated here, broken game, crashed loads and frame drops when it was running. I do not disagree on the frame drops. I completely agree. There were frame drops. And please note that these frame drops are also because I'm screen recording. But in my experience of, say, about an hour, I did not have a single crash. It did not crash at all on me. And this particular gamer has got a refund. Well, good for him. Some of the other game reviews says borderline unplayable, disgracefully bad performance. I would not disagree completely, but I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people are making it sound or seem. One of the other users states, nowadays AAA games should not get a pass for poor optimization and ports. I completely agree. My experience has been completely fine. No FPS issues, hitching, stuttering, etc. However, a game costing $69.99 and not able to be played on high-end or mismatched systems is not acceptable. I agree to that as well. I certainly am of the opinion that this game can get more optimized. It needs to get more optimized to take advantage of the hardware that is available, because even if you take a look at my hardware, in this case I've got 12 GB VRAM. I agree that it's a 6800M and it's not a desktop level graphic card, but hey, it's a 12 GB graphic card. So even if I was playing this at say about 1440p with some of those settings kept to medium or low, I should have been able to get a lot more out of this game, is what I would say. So these reviews, it's a mix and match, right? I mean, not all of it is correct because some exaggeration is there in terms of these reviews online. I would not completely disagree with them, and I would not completely, you could say, agree with them. I'm somewhere in between. Now, some of the game reviews also state that I really do love this game overall. However, since I reached the first planet where you meet Grease, the game starts to completely freeze for me randomly. This already happened now 6 times. I've still not got to this area, so I would not be able to comment on that. I have asked for a refund and declined. Man, that's bad for you. Unfortunately, there are some positive reviews as well. Very good, runs fine on my 750 Ti and Ryzen 3 3200G. That's interesting. Yes, I think this game is very cool and awesome, but it has a lot of game performance issues. However, the reviewer has left a positive icon, like a thumbs up. So there's no denying the fact that this game, in terms of the visual that it's offering, is absolutely stunning. Everything looks very cinematic, very crisp when it runs fine. But when it runs fine. When it does not run fine, well, you can expect the frames to drop. And if you're playing this on a monitor or on a television, which does not have variable refresh rate, man, that's going to be you could say like a hell for you, because you're going to have a lot of screen tear as well. So I would recommend a monitor or like a display where you at least have variable refresh rate, because even while I was playing this game, there were a lot of fluctuations in the gameplay. Now, I'm not going to show you the gameplay today. If you want me to show the gameplay and commentate on it, then do let me know in the comments section. But today's video, I just wanted to share my initial impressions of the game. And I would just want to say that on my Asus ROG Strix G15 Advantage Edition with the RX6800M, which is 12GB VRAM, and the Ryzen 7 processor, the 5800 processor, medium to high settings, it gave me around 40 to 45, more in the 40s range, and it also dropped to the, you could say, the late 30s. But for most of it, 85%, I would say, it was in the 40s, which was acceptable to me. But here's the thing. It only gave me that performance when I switched over to ultra performance in the FSR mode. When I was playing this on the quality mode or on the balanced mode or even on the performance mode, I was getting between 35 to 40, more in the 35 range. It's only when I switched over to the ultra performance was when I was actually getting that 40 to 45 FPS. So that's something that you should keep in mind while you're playing this game. But hey, that's it that I'm going to talk about in today's video. If you've liked the content, do hit that like and subscribe button, and also that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. I really appreciate your support in advance. But that's it for this video. I'm going to sign off for this one, and I'll see you lovely folks in my next video. Till that time, I'll say take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.